Hello, Dash here, and the moment is finally here that we can finally open the first ever Gundam Card Game Booster set, New Type Rising. So this is actually my second box I've opened. I didn't record the first one because I was at the card shop and one of the guys there was pressuring me just to open it there. So ended up doing that. Went to another card shop and got the second one. I know stock for these has been hard to come by for in some cases, even for reasonable prices. But my local store, Gem Mint cards, thankfully they got me the hookup. They were limited to one per person, so no one's like buying out the whole stock. And it's a reasonable price at $150. I know it's still higher than the 120, but like I've seen some places online charging 200 plus, which is kind of ridiculous. But it is what it is. You know, that's the market, and hopefully it stabilizes and maybe people who want to get into this hobby can actually get the booster boxes. But I mean, we're going to just go ahead and open this. In my first booster box, even though I didn't record it, I got Freedom Gundam and the alt art for Freedom Gundam, alt art for Duo Maxwell, the Wing Gundam, Foil Resource, Justice Gundam, Char's Gelgoog, Gundam Aerial Rebuild, Wing Gundam Zero, Buster Gundam. I can't think of the last LR at the moment. Oh yeah, Unicorn Destroy Mode. But unfortunately, I didn't get the Gundam Hellscythe. So maybe I can get one of these. It seems like, you know, you only get like one of each LR when you pull them in this. So unfortunately, like if you're looking for 4 copies of an LR, you're going to need at minimum 4 boxes unless you hit on alt art. But let's just go ahead and start cracking these packs, huh? So most of these commons and uncommons I'm not too concerned about at the moment. But, you know, if you're building a deck around a certain archetype, you're going to need some of those uncommons and rares especially. So Big Zam right here. Every pack comes with a resource or a token. I think we found the pattern where if the last card ends up being a token, then it's the LR pack. So you can see this is the Fathom 00. So this is probably, nope, it's not the Justice Gundam, but it is an LR. It's the one of the Gundam LR, one of them. There's like 5-6 different cards just for Grandpa Gundam, like this one right here. But also nice to get the Merida Cruz if you're building like a red deck. She's really good. If you can get the Kashya. I'll have to organize my cards later so I can get a final count of what I'm going to build. Because I'm kind of thinking I want to do like a Freedom Gundam with Wing Zero. But if you're doing Wing Zero, you need the Hellscythe Gundam for like your resource ramp. So there's still, you know, it's good to have a nice collection of cards. Like when it came to rares, like you're going to get 7 LRs and a bunch of rares, maybe 1 or 2 copies of each rare. I was looking for more than just 1 copy of Perfect Strike Gundam, but unfortunately, I only got the 1 copy. And now we got another Unicorn Gundam Destroy Mode. I really like Unicorn Gundam Destroy Mode. I feel like that's a deck I want to build. Because I already got a couple copies of the Unicorn Mode also. And if you participate in your sealed event for the launch, you'll also get a promo card for Boniger Lynx and Unicorn Mode Unicorn Gundam. So really helps if you're missing just 1 pair of those. So there's one of the Gundam Death Scythes, but it's not the one that ramps the resource. And we got the foil resource right here, which is the Unicorn Gundam. So that's every box comes with 1 foil resource, 1 LR alt art, I think like 1 rare alt art, and then the 7 LRs. And each LR ends up being like unique. So I've never seen a duplicate LR. There's one of the that's one Gundam Death Scythe. Unfortunately, since I only got to open 2 boxes. This is probably the only copy I'm going to have, and I'm going to have to either trade or buy online the other copies I'm going to need. But still, nice little hit there. And, you know, even if you don't get all the hits you need, I think you can make very viable decks with all the other bulk cards you're going to be pulling. Sure, they're not the ultra powerful LRs, but I think in some cases, for some of the LRs, like, you might only need to run like 2 or 3 copies of, let's say, Unicorn Gundam Destroy Mode. I wouldn't say you need a full 4, but it's all preference. I think, even though there's people that go online and do the play testing, they do, you know, they've kind of found like a very comparable meta. So, you know, blue-white with like blue to control, white to run the blockers. I'm kind of thinking, you know, I'm torn between, I got 2 dual Maxwell pilots plus the alt art I got from the other time. Don't know my final tally because I only focused on the LRs back then and the alt arts for my first box. I see something shiny, and there's Justice Gundam with an EUX resource. So you know, if it's not one of those resource cards, and if it ends up being a token, it's going to be your LR card right here. Also, this Rizel, if you're building a blue deck, really good, cost-effective. You know, level 3 cost 2, but you get 4/3 on it. Really great. If you're running blue, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't want to run 4 copies of that one at least. But we're getting plenty of those. I think at least for commons and uncommons, I'm going to have like at least full sets of 4 for that. And I got another token, Buster Gundam LR. So that's my second Buster Gundam. So I got 2 of the Destroy Mode unicorns. I got 2 Buster Gundams. I got... Oh, I didn't. I left out the other LR. That was my first Gundam LR. You know, not the one from the booster set, not the one from... Oh, okay. So I got... This is my 3rd Freedom, so I'm really set when it comes to building the Freedom deck now. Because I got 2 of the Freedoms and then an alt art. So I'm going to probably have to run the deck with the alt art. I know some people probably are like, oh, you're actually running your alt art in the deck. But, you know, I know, you know, it's one of those cards that it's either you collect it or you sell it because it has value since it's more rare. I don't know. We'll see. But so far, that's 5 of my LRs. So this box should only have like 2 more plus the alt art, whichever one that ends up being. Strike Rogue, that's not too bad to have. I think I got pulled at least 1 or 2 of those. Those are the rares. You might only get 1 or 2 copies of each card in there. So like, you're gonna need multiple booster boxes to get a full set of 4 if you're looking for that. Like this Shamblo, I didn't even realize this was a rare. It's a level 8, cost 7. I don't think many decks really run it. I can't. I haven't really read too many of these. So I know a lot of people, they were really into the like leaks and reveals. Well, this card came bent. I could feel that as I opened that pack. That was not me. That was just the way it came out of the back. Good thing it's a common. You know, I'd be upset if it was like my alt art card just came with a bent corner like that. But I really like the Gundam resource cards. Those Gundam resource cards. It's like the regular resource cards are kind of just bland and normal, right? I mean, they don't have any personality to them. So I love that every set is probably gonna have like the main Gundams from each set. So like in set 2, we'll get Zeta Gundam. So I would totally build just my resource deck out of Zeta and Hyakushikis. One day we'll get to there's the Kashtria. That's probably my 6th LR. If you're running like a green-red or even like a blue-red, I think that's really good card to use with it. You know, if you get a couple copies of Merida, you really get to make use of it. But even then, it pairs with Cyber new types and new types for the effect. So you could run like Full Frontal, Amuro, Sayla, Merida, just all those new type characters. And that's my LR right there. Unicorn Gundam 02 Banshee Destroy Mode. I don't think I pulled the regular Banshee Destroy mode in my first box. So nice little pull there. Really nice art. I think we gotta really appreciate the art on that one. I wish I could have bought a second box or third box. Like I said, the second store I bought a box from was limited to one per person. So unfortunately, and there's my last LR, the Dual Gundam Assault Shroud. I don't think I pulled that one in my first box. So, you know, there's some LRs I only have one copy of, which for deck building purposes might kind of be aggravating because, you know, you might, these are like your powerful cards that you want maybe to run full 4, if not like 2, 3 copies. Oh, I pulled 2. I thought it was only one LR. I got a second LR, the Justice Gundam LR, and I didn't pull a. Yeah, I did. I pulled a. No wait, I didn't pull a Justice Gundam earlier, did I? I thought I did. Well, that's a nice little surprise. I got 2 alt. I thought maybe it's just 2 any alt arts. I thought it was like one's like your rares and stuff because both of those are LRs. So interesting. I might just have misunderstood because it might have just been any 2. Hey, there's another Perfect Strike Gundam that I was looking for. So I think I have 2 copies if I did the math correctly. I have to recatalog all my cards and try to figure out what I'm missing. But I'm just going to build a deck with what I have. I know some people probably will proxy this, but I'm one of those people. I like to run my decks with what I have physically. There's a nice little Banshee unicorn mode. Oh, wait. Okay, so... No, Destroy mode is an LR. Unicorn mode is a rare. So, yeah. Okay, so maybe it's just 2 alt arts. I thought it was like 1 LR and 1 rare, but it looks like it could be 2 LRs. So, nice little surprise for me. And excuse me as I sneeze. But... yeah, that's it for this box. I've completely opened all the packs. Nice little hits. These are my, the plus rarity ones. But I'm gonna probably make some more videos. I got this tripod now set up, so I'm thinking about taking it to my local store, maybe to record some matches there. I think I'm gonna do some recording on maybe a deck building scenario once I get all these cards sorted out, and show like maybe my deck building process. I'm not an expert by it. I think everybody has their own flavor, but I think it's really important to like sit down and do your own deck building. Like you can go online and look at other people's deck list. I know a lot of people keep track of the Eagles Nest Limitless TCG tournaments and look at the deck list that are winning there. But I think there's a lot of open capability for a lot of decks in this game. I mean, blue-white seems to be the most consistently powerful, but like you could do it with green-white, red-green. Maybe blue-green might be kind of like one of the weaker subsets, but I think you could run like a blue-red Unicorn Gundam, like Cyber new type deck, let's say. But yeah. Anyways, thank you for watching. Keep your eye out for more videos. Leave any feedback you want to. I always appreciate it. And I'll see you next time.